everyone. Welcome to the Finance Story. We are a finance focused career insight platform where we bring you the best of minds to share their learnings and ponder on more possibilities. So, it was recently reported that 300,000 US CPAs have quit their jobs as accountants and tax agents, leading to a lot of US CPA and accounting firms outsourcing to India. Okay, so today I have with me Kavita Tapriya Chakraborty, who's a chartered accountant from India and who spotted this opportunity more than a decade ago and founded Connect Consultancy, an international bookkeeping accounting tax firm based in Pune, India. So what is astounding is how Kavita and her team, just focused on her team of 150 plus professionals that they employ, focused on thousands of clients based just in the US, not any other country. Today, Kavita will take us through her journey of building Connect Consultancy, and growing it to such a multi-million dollar business in terms of revenue, and and scaling it so well without any investors, just starting off from a small room as a freelancer. So any one of you who want to build a similar venture, can seek inspiration and learn from Kavita's journey. So Kavita, thank you so much for joining us at the Finance Story. I mean, it means a lot that you made the time.
Thank you for inviting me. Thanks, Satya.
Thank you. So, Kavita, let's directly, dive in. My first question is, let's rewind back, and tell us, when did you qualify as a chartered accountant, and how did you start your career as a CA? Was this an opportunity that you saw way back, when you started out, or how did this entire journey of yours start?
So, first of all, thanks once again. Let me first visit a little bit of my childhood with you. I'll take you there. So, I come from a small town called Malegaon. This is in the district of Nasik, Maharashtra. Till date, we don't have railways there. And I come from a hardcore traditional Marwadi family, wherein in five siblings, I'm the second one. So now your question is, how did I choose to become a chartered accountant? As far as my memory goes, I always wanted to be a chartered accountant, and I suppose because of the very, very high influence of my maternal uncle, Sri V.C. Darak, who is a very renowned chartered accountant in Mumbai, a central government nominee in ICAI. Looking at the kind of a respect he had in our family, I still remember when I was hardly 9 years old in the fourth standard, I told in a school function where I was given some prize, some prize distribution ceremony, when they asked me, like, what do you want to become? And I said, CA. I don't know whether I knew what the CA stands for, but yeah, that is how I decided. And I passed my CA in 96. I did my graduation from Malegaon, all the while vernacular, Marathi medium I come from. And for my CA, I came to Pune. And in 96, I passed my chartered accountancy.
Wow, that's inspiring. So tell us, how did you start your entire journey? Like, did you get into practice? When did you understand about the outsourcing industry and start with it? So take us to how Connect Consultancy was formed.
Okay, so as I told you, I passed in 1996 and immediately I got married. As you know, after marriage, the priorities changes. I was with my husband. I started working as a consultant to the IIM Calcutta professors. Then I was into teaching academics. Let me tell you, I'd gone to IIT KGP to pursue my PhD, but that time they did not consider CA as masters and they asked me to do MCOM. So that is how I could not pursue my academics. So, and then I was in practice, and then I went to Singapore. I worked with a CA firm, CPA firm there as a partner. And 2008, me and my family decided to come back to India. And after coming back to India, I have taken up a job with my first and last boss. I would like to mention her name is Vandana Saxena Poria. I've learned a lot from her, though the stint for hardly for 8 to 9 months. I learned a lot from her, and let me tell you, there was where I thought I can be one of one that kind of like Vandana heading a company. So first, my younger daughter, she had asthma, and I had to quit this job and take care of her. So I started practicing as a Kavita Chakravarti and Associates, but it wasn't a very satisfying experience. Not much of the clients, and somehow I wasn't enjoying. And one day I told my husband, who was into IT services, that hey, I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. I want to do something else. Shall I take up a job? And he said that sitting at home you can start registering yourself with number of portals, and let's see whether you can do outsourcing. And trust me, in the year 2008-9 I've heard the word outsourcing for the first time. And I still remember, with his help, I registered myself on Freelancer. That time there was this portal called Freelancer, and I registered myself sitting in my living room taking care of my children. One of my first client was from UK for $50, and that is how uh, my journey towards Connect started without me actually planning for it.
And he helped me to register myself on number of freelancing portals. I remember the first was Freelancer. I don't know whether that platform is still there or not, but Guru and Freelancer was the freelancing sites where he registered me. And though after number of days of bidding, we could close, rather I won't use the word I, because I was taking his help. The first client was from UK for $50, and this is how, without planning, without knowing, we started building Connect.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Correct. So this is how it started. I was in my living room taking care of my family, my children, and it started along with the practice. By 2008-9 I had a handful of customers, and uh, in 2009 I realized that yes, this can really become something. That time we had clients from UK, US, Australia, even from Sri Lanka and Singapore, uh, just focusing on basic accounting. 2010 September, we took our office. We separated the business. My husband was into IT services, and I was doing FAO, that is finance and accounts outsourcing. September 2010, we formed a company, Connect Consultancy, and I surrendered my CO. So
Wow.
for becoming a chartered accountant, I had to really give a fight at home, because I come from a hardcore Marwadi traditional family with four daughters, me being second. But by 20, when I started, within a year, I knew, yes, this is what I want to do, and just wanted to focus on what I enjoyed. I decided not to try to sell both the boats, and I surrendered my certificate of practice.
Okay. In 2010, you surrendered your COP and you decided to focus completely on outsourcing. Okay. So, can you tell us from 2008 to 2010, what was your growth like? Were you still on the freelancer website, getting freelance work, or how did those 2 years shape you and, your business?
I was on freelancer site from 2008 till 2012, working exclusively as a freelancer. There was no mention of Connect Consultancy on the freelancing side. It was Kavita Chakrabarti who were bidding on the projects, taking the projects, and I started building team at the back. I picked up few junior resources who can help me for the data entry and accounting and final reconciliation and closing work I took. Till 2012, I suppose we were four of us, very small office, hardly 200 square feet. And if you will ask me, the turnover, Look, being in service industry, you know how much you are making, and we don't have a habit of calculating our time. So it was a break even. I never calculated my salary in it, but the break even was from the first project itself. The reason being the currency conversion, and again, it's a service industry. You calculate all the time what are your fixed cost and how much you should charge. And that time, though I did not have the liberty to charge my rate, but whatever, I started with $4 per hour. I still remember that. So whatever it was good. So till 2012, I was working as a Kavita Chakravarti freelancer, taking the project and getting work done. So this is the answer to your question.
Wow, that's amazing. So you were a team of four people,
Yes,
and it was a small setup, as you could say. Four people,
very
you
small. Yeah.
$4 an hour, and getting clients still from online sources, and building it one step at a time. That's how it was. So what happened after 2012? Like, how did you go from this a team of four, to a team of like 150 to 180 that you are today? So tell us, how did that happen?
Look, it's a long journey. I don't know what to pick up and what to leave. But there are a few things which I know the whole intention of this live is there are a number of chartered accountants, the youngsters who want to start this. So I would like to just pick up the things which has helped me build this. The first one was the earlier days. I was the one who was looking after sales. I was the one who was responsible for the deliveries, interviewing people, taking them, handling everything. And again, I was taking the projects whichever was available. It was from different countries, for sometimes for payroll, sometimes for sales tax, sometimes for simple data entry. And by 2012, I realized I'm all over the place and I won't be able to make it if I do not decide what I enjoy. And the very first decision I took was to pick up one country where I'll be focusing. Because to have the skill set for the UK laws, to have the India laws, or for the US, for the Australia, we did not have that much of money to have that kind of a staff. I never was in a favor to, I didn't know the investor game that time. And even till today, I don't understand, to be very frank. So I had to focus like what I want to do so that we can pick up those kind of a skills. And this is the game changer. That was the game changer. Picking up US over all other countries. I decided it in 2012. That was the first thing. And number two was focusing exclusively on the bookkeeping, small to medium size enterprises. I never targeted to the CPA firms. I never went for the bookkeeping firms to outsource or provide the white label project. To begin with, I started with small to medium size enterprises. So that was the first game changer.
Yeah. So then how did it progress from there?
Okay, so then it was easy what I want to do, where I want to focus. Then I started picking up people, like what kind of staff or the team members I required. Usually, being a chartered accountant coming from a Marwadi business community, with all the due respect, it is a habit to have a bigger chunk for self and hire you know the articles or the just the BCom graduates and get work done. I did try that. I won't lie. I did try that, but still, the biggest game changer of Connect was picking up my first chartered accountant, and very proud to say he's still with us, Mr. Nikhil Mehta. Picking him up, I think my biggest sell was to sell him Connect Consultancy, my passion, and telling him that we can be really big while he was holding a very big offer in his hand. That was the second game changer, to pick up a chartered accountant who was technically very, very strong, and at a very early stage having a separate KRA, me separating myself from deliveries. was the second game changer. Keeping the sales and strategy with myself and giving the whole deliveries in his hand was the second game changer.
Wow, that's amazing. So I can see Nikhil online. So that's great. So Kavita, from what I understand, in 2012, okay, you were still in the freelancing mode, but then you were doing a lot of things, taking up a lot of assignments from different parts of the world, right? In 2012, you decided, hey, this cannot continue, right? You have to focus, right? And that's when you focus on what you're doing today and connect. Your current company was born, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we register Connect in 2010, 2012 till 20 to 2012, whatever work was coming, I was doing. We were making money, but it wasn't a very focused effort. I was all over the place. I did not know whether I'm doing all of it or any of it. So I had to take a call. And the first decision I took is I'll focus on US. And from 2012 to 2014, mid of 2015, we were continuously focused on building US small to mid-size bookkeeping clients, handful, maybe 40, 50 clients with the team size of 6, 7, we were doing that. And then I think, if I'm not wrong, it was 2015, 16, and I suppose uh, I picked up my first chartered accountant, Nikhil Mehta, to look after all the deliveries and clients. And I completely cut myself off from the deliveries, focusing on the sales and strategies.
That's amazing. Okay, so my next question is, Kavita, like, how did you now sales and strategies, right? There are so many who are watching and who are going to watch. What was your sales strategy? Okay, and how did you acquire clients being in India? Did you go to the US? How did you gain their trust? Because that's the biggest question, right? Someone just writing to you from a different country. So, what was your way of building this?
I am extremely proud today to mention my first client is still with me. I think I can name him because he has given me recommendation on LinkedIn, Mr. Field. We still take care of his books and now taxes as well. So though we started at as less as $35 per month, taking care of that client, growing with him, and till date, after I'm saying he was with us from 2010, 11, and now we are in 2023. It was the complete taking care as if it's our business. And when the deliveries were separated, though I was looking at the new sales pipeline, retaining the old customer was a major focus. We did not do what we were not good at. Me and Nikhil being chartered accountants, and plus whomsoever the new hires were, they were BCom, MCom. We knew that accounting is something we can do very well. We can do closures, we can help them read the financials, and every day sending them some kind of a value addition. Hey, your payroll is off. Hey, your cost is more this time. Hey, your sales is up. A kind of a helping them to read their number was a game changer here. Though there were some 5 clans or 40 clans, we gave time to all of it. And that was told from the day one to Nikhil that we are going to grow only when if we take care of the clients which are with us. I see, I've been called couple of times to meet couple of chartered accountancy firm and to outsourcing. I see their major focus is acquiring new client. We worked other way around, focusing on our existing clients, growing with them. The one who was paying us $30 when it become 3,000, and from one couple of hours of work to the dedicated accountant, and from one accountant to 5 accountants. That was a kind of a sales strategy wherein there was a 0% sales expenses, just doing the best what we could and we were at, and gradually adding new services to them. So we started with bookkeeping, as I mentioned, and then gradually we started adding payroll. Then we started adding different industries. Then we have come up with a group. This will be accountants who will be just exclusively taking care of a real estate management, e-commerce, construction, IT industries. And then by 2016-17, we took our first CPA as a partner and started our separate division into outsourcing the white label project to the CPA firms.
Wow, that's commendable. That's really amazing. So you started small, focused on that one client you had. If he paid you $5 or he paid you $3,000, you gave equal attention. Delivery was key. Okay. Now you also focused on sales, but you did not get the client and just say, hey, you know what, just handle it. No, it was both sales as well as delivery. Both was focused in a very proper strategic way.
Correct. Yeah, there was a strategy for each client, and everyone doesn't need the same thing. There are few who are interested in reading numbers, so we knew, I got a very good partner. Nikhil understood what I'm trying to tell him, and when your delivery head understands this, it becomes very easy to pass on to the people who are working for you. So the vision was very clear, and as I mentioned it to you, I think they missed it. As I come from a hardcore Marwadi family, four daughters, my dad running a pharmaceutical company, a pharmaceutical shop. From the age of 6 onwards, I was sitting with him 10 hours a day. After my school, I used to go to the shop, and I've seen him how repetition of the same customer was there. And somewhere it was fun. My dad used to call him by the first name, inquiring about their family members, talking in their language. If someone is good at music, asking him about the song or something. That was my basic lessons which I've learned there, that along with the IQ, your emotional quotient is very important to retain the client, to connect with him. And even that came handy when I was building the team as well. So, yeah, that was, and you'll be surprised, and trust me, I'm not exaggerating. Till 2016, our sales expenses were zero. In my P&L, there was no sales expenses.
Wow. This is so inspiring. Okay, so Kavita, I'll just come to this point which everyone would want to ask. I get a lot of messages from people, and I'm sure you must be getting the same, and a lot of others. People in India, they have the skills, they have the resources, we've got everything, but how do you acquire the clients? Yeah, you acquired that one client, okay, on your own.
Not one client. I told you from
Yeah, you were,
2008 to
yes,
2012, I was on the
yes,
freelancing side getting number of customers.
yes,
What I'm trying to say, even the first client is still with us.
yes,
So
no,
there were
yes,
number of clients, few left, but there
yes.
were we did try to take care of them. So getting the references and continue bidding on those platforms till 2012 gave us a good start, a good number of clients, and we were a team of a 10 until we were there doing accounting work.
Agree. Correct. Now, how did you build your client base like from there? Like, how did you go ahead and as Nikhil came in, the team expanded. How did you grow your clients? Like, if you could just, how do you network? And I understood the first few were from the freelancer websites, but post that, did you go to the US, join some associations, or did you do your CPA and network?
Oh,
How
no,
was
no, no,
it?
no, nothing. So, to be very frank, for the sales, just last year I went to the US. Everything was sitting here in India. So, 2016, the major change was from this freelancing site, we received our first CPA phone. And we started understanding actual outsourcing game. We hired good people. When I say good people, all these good people were from small town, extremely hardworking. We trained them on the job, and getting the projects from that CPA firm, relieving them from their regular operations. They started growing. We started growing over here. Was did help us to grow. After that, we hired a sales team. We found a partner there in the US, definitely sitting here in India. We found a partner using this number of social media, LinkedIn. I think, yes, I found my partner on LinkedIn. And he started finding the new clientele, the new CPA firms for us. And this is how then the actual sales started from 2016. But till 2016, we were on freelancing sites.
Wow, this is amazing. Because this is great. So basically everyone who wants to start, they should start from Upwork. There's no need for them, to find a partner or something. Start small and
I'll tell you
eventually.
one thing. You remember you when we were talking and you said, "What is the recipe of making connect?" And I said, "Trust me, there's no recipe. There is no recipe. It's if you want to build a connect, you need a 13 years of hard work. You need to know how to build a team. If you ask me today, everything has become very, very easy post COVID. Post COVID, getting a US client or any other country client has become very simple because the new concept of work from home has been, everyone is now know how everyone can work from home. So if one can work from home, why not offshore? Because there is a, you can save the cost and get the equal quality work. Herein, giving your client 100% of what you have, adding value to their business, and majorly the major challenge which we are facing after 2017 is building team, retaining team, finding the great talent is what is a challenge. I'm sure now getting work, even the outsourcing is not a new concept to the US. If you ask me about the US, because I work in that region, I don't know much about other region, but for the US, outsourcing is not new. You have all the numbers, how this industry is growing, how every chartered accountant firm is looking forward to get the get into this global practice of work. Taking care, the way you know the best, using your IQ, using your experience, expertise, and plus that EQ, your special touch is what makes the connect what it is today.
That's phenomenal. Okay. So, Kavita, like when you said you found a partner in the US, so what do you mean you find a partner? So, the person over there is just helping Indian, clients find CPA firms and businesses who are looking for,
He's a sales director, and he has a team now. He has so before we went into the real market and start taking sales as a function, by then we have built a very good case studies. If you talk me someone, Kavita, there is a prospect for e-commerce. I had 5 people who will refer us. If you're talking about a CPA firm, we had or we are working with someone who can refer us. If it's about the tax return, we were working, we had people to refer us. So for my partner who's there in the US, who's looking after the sales, for him it became very, very simple and easy to go to the market, say, hey, we can do it. And because we had people who were happy to refer us, who give a good and positive review about us. So it became, by then it became a very simple journey for us to get more and more clients. And trust me, from 2016, I am proud to say that not a single day that we had always more sales than we can take it up. We always had to stop somewhere selling our services and consolidate what we have, take care of it. And yeah, so this is how it's a simple, like everyone does, but the quality of services and the importance we give to each of our customers is, I think, what matters.
Okay. So, from what I understand, you just have a sales director who helps you connect, and you have solid work proof that you've done, which is taking you ahead. That's what clients trust and believe. Like, hey, you know what? These guys have delivered earlier, so they will do a good job for us. That's about it. It's
Yeah, if someone is there to talk about us, our services, and if you are interested in outsourcing, you don't, and if the cost, the good review, and if the founder himself is talking to you, taking you on a video call, introducing you with the different skill sets, telling you like what you can do for your company, it becomes easy. So to convincing the front person to outsource is a job which my sales director do. The rest, once the prospect is here, we start talking, then it's our job to ensure that that is the closure for us. So this is how. And since COVID, even my sales director, he doesn't need to put that much of efforts, because every day we receive 4 to 5 inquiries, and very humbly at times we have to refuse also for the work. We decided which work we will be doing and where we will be saying no. We divided our division. So number of, it's not just about sales, it's about, along with building team, building the skill sets, who, which can be, we can build them so that the clients are properly taken care of. It's not just accounting has number of things. Different industry needs different kind of a things. So developing that was, or rather took much more time than focusing on sales. Sales come easily to us. Maybe we are fortunate, maybe our work, I don't know. But sales, it was never a struggle for us. It was never.
Okay, so that's great, Kavita. So that's amazing. I'm sure it'll be even more better. So I have this one question before we, ask our, those watching the questions as well. My question is, when you decided, hey, you know what, I want to build a sales team and I want to scale up. Okay, and as things started moving fast, did you have to put in a lot of investments? Okay, was it an expensive affair that you have to put in a lot of investments, resources, data security, processes? How was that like?
um, for I we never took a bank loan or investors. I don't know, is it a right strategy or wrong? I really don't know. But as you know, I told you, how you've been brought up, or what you have seen, and what worked for your family, or the people you admire, you try somewhere those qualities, you start following. So I never went for the bank loan or the investor, but yes, it was a lot of investment. Taking care of securities, hiring good people, having number of chartered accountants. Training was and is a very integral part of our company. So yes, initial, I think 2016, my takeaway was whatever the basic expenses I needed at home was what I was taking out from the company. Rest was completely reinvesting in the company and growing up. I never booked till 2016 my salary.
Wow. Okay, so you invested in 2016 and helped it's like scale up. You helped it scaled
Yeah,
up from
from even
2016.
2016 to 2018, it was very small amount, like 35 to 40,000 I took home. While I'm telling you, my people were drawing more salaries than I was taking home. But yeah, it was reinvesting, having a proper infrastructure. Like there are a number of things of outsourcing, developing processes is, everything is automation there. So how you do it, and look, I didn't have anyone in my family or in my friends who are into outsourcing business to guide me. Hey, Kavita, this is wrong. You don't do it. Or Kavita, this is right. Go it. Everything was trial and error. So I've learned a lot on the job. I've learned along with my team. We did lot of with mistakes, I'll say, or the things which we shouldn't have done. We did it. We said yes to number of clients which we shouldn't have. At times there was a time we took more work than we could deliver, but it was understanding. It was on the job. And today, I feel I know what one should not do in outsourcing rather than what one should do in outsourcing.
Okay, so that's my next question. What should one not do in outsourcing? What are the lessons that you've learned and the challenges that you faced? If you knew certain aspects, you wouldn't have gone through it. So tell us about that.
Okay. So the very first thing is if you are just saying yes to every work, first find out what is your core competence. If you are looking for a CPA firm to outsource their tax work to you, do you have a team? Do you have the skill set? Do you understand what the 1040 is, 1120, 1065, 1040 MR? Do you understand the deductions? Do you understand what is the New York State extra filing you need to do? Do you know, do you have the skill sets? I have come across number of chartered accountants, especially in last 4 5 years. Number of chartered accountants approaching me that can you outsource or re-outsource or subcontract your work to us. And my very first question was, how many clients did you deliver? If the answer is no, how will I outsource or re-outsource, or why will I take you on board as a partner? So first, what value you are bringing on table, that is the most important thing. You need to have those specific what you can do for your client. Being just I'm a chartered accountant, that's fine. I'm sorry, I passed when the results were 1%, today is 20%. So there are a number of chartered accountants, and I apologize, your degree is not for sale. What you possess, what technical expertise which is required for the outsourcing industry, if you have that, you bring something on the table. So that is the first thing. Don't oversell yourself for your firm, because one bad feedback can throw you out of this industry. Number two, I feel if I would have taken the investor, my life would have been little better, because fortunately or unfortunately, me being female, my husband taking care of the rest of the household expenses saved me. But if you are the one who's making a bread and butter for the family, and if you won't take home any salary at home, that's not going to work for you. So, you know taking salary home so that you have your peace of mind, and then how you do that, it's up to you. Number three, don't expect your accountant to file the tax returns as well. Have core competence of each team, each person. Read, like, not every accountant can be the tax expert. Not every tax expert can read the balance sheet. So there is everyone, though with the same qualification, each one has their core competence, plus, minus, what they can do, what they cannot do. You need to read it as a founder, as a mentor, as a leader. And I know my team. If you tell me, I know my team, I understand them, I'm connected with them, I know who's good at what. Number three, which is the most important, I see the CA firms who are doing exceptionally good in India domestic market in their practice. Just as a side business, they want to do outsourcing. I don't know. Again, with all due respect, I don't think this is how it will work. Outsourcing needs 100% of your time, energy, even the staff requirement for them. You cannot ask me to do the statutory audit as per the Companies Act in India, and you ask me, hey, come and do the reconciliation on QuickBooks. I don't think it worked for me. So these are the four very important things which I would like to share over here.
That's amazing. So Kavita, I have this one question. You spoke about having the right team. One aspect. I've been talking to a lot of CPAs, enrolled agents in India. A lot of BCom grads who are doing fabulously well in this outsourcing industry, like making like 25 30 lakhs upward. Many of them have worked at EY, GDS, and all of these big names, but they quickly moved and they are working at local outsourcing firms, and some of them even starting their own, right? So how do you handle this talent when the market right now is, everyone's talking about it, right? Everyone wants talent. So how do you retain your talent? Is that a big stress? How do you negotiate the salaries with them? Like, how does it work?
if I'll share everything with you, I'll have to shut down Connect then. Because that is the major thing, you know. If you ask me what is my biggest challenge today, or my team's, my senior management biggest challenge is to find, the talent, grow the team to this level, to the next level, you know. But still, just the joke apart, but we prefer picking up local boys coming from small town rather than big fours. Rather, my senior team is ours with the CVs of big fours. I'm sorry, but we find them more of a process leaders than actual accountant and tax consultant. um, we realize that the big four guys are more, the software does most of the thing rather they understand. It's definitely not for everyone, but whatever we have come across, so we prefer picking up the local talent and training them for the kind of work we do, because we are not process guys. We hate ourselves calling as a process guys. Our tax people do end to end tax returns. My accountants do end to end accounting. It's not that they handle AP, AR, or just payroll, or just jail. No, we don't do that. We are accounting and tax firm. We are a CFO firm. My team can read the balance sheet. So rather than picking up people from the names you have taken, we pick up the local talent who have not worked with all these big names, who come from the small town background. We see their personal qualities like sincere, hard work, honest, and training them in house on the job. We have our own format of inducting, onboarding people, and salary. I think we are one of the best, if I won't say the best, but yeah. And again, here I'm happy to quote my team members. With me, number of them have completed more than 5 years. So yeah, this is how we've been building. And challenge is not the sales now. To challenge is not the sales. I don't buy this. If you, oh, if you are not good at your services deliveries, you can't sell it. If you are good, selling is very very simple. It needs time. You cannot straight away approach the CPA firm. Go with first a single small shop or a small entrepreneur. Work with him on his books gradually. It takes, you remember, I told you to build a connect, you need 13 hours of a hard work, dedication, do it passionately, learn from your mistakes, and move on. We face the challenge of building the team. Not, sales is not a challenge for us.
That's amazing. And you know what? You do extremely well. I'm asking you a lot of questions. People are asking me here. But I mean, this is fab and it shows a lot of, empathy towards your team and how your team is with you. And I'm sure it'll be a lot more, it'll be greater. So, yes, ma'am. So I have one question. Okay. We'll start taking questions from others because I think you've answered everything. We all had this one question: how do you get clients? And it's so simple. Your
It's
funda is just
very simple. You get on there a number of portals on LinkedIn, you write, but you tell me when you are writing, what you are writing, first decide on that. Look, sailing is a art. People try to put IQ, and I feel I'm a person with lot of EQ rather than IQ. I understand what he needs. I see, people are selling me. I'm telling you, since last 3 days I'm receiving one call from Ahmedabad. He said, ma'am, let me file you a US, we have a US entity. So she's telling me that I will file a tax return for you. Trust me, today I spoke with her. I said, did you study who am I? I do filing for others. Will I give my tax return to you? So they don't study who is who. You just come and talk. You remember? You asked me, I was very spontaneous and talking to you because you did your homework while talking to me. You knew number of things about me. That's how the people get connected. You need to see that you can talk to the front person. Now someone referred me that I know Kavita Chakravarti and she does UK accounting, and I was surprised. When do I do the UK accounting? If you don't know anything about to whom you are selling, that's not a sales. Learn. Look, I'm a chartered accountant. Apart from that, I did not do any kind of a specialization, except last year I was called by Goldman Sachs for the leadership program for AM Bangalore. Definitely helped me a lot. But sales is an art. You need to understand what you are selling and whom you are selling.
That's amazing. Okay, ma'am, that's well said. So, Kavita, I have this next question from Govind. Okay, I know it's the same repeat question, but he says, okay, any other websites or platforms that you recommend today, and any other platforms?
I think Upwork is doing very, very well. I read about it all the time. So register yourself in Upwork. But again, I'm telling, look, when I started, there was very, very less competition. Now everyone is on Upwork, everyone. But then I think the competition creates the market also. I feel that. If you are selling what I am selling, whatever you could not close, I get that market. So learn how to sell. And there is no recipe. I can't teach you how to send you a proposal. That's not I'm good at. I can't tell you, but yeah, read the project, understand, and choose only those which you can do. And while doing, don't look at what kind of a money you will get. Ensure that he comes up with the second request. If you can do that, trust me, a one client will get you another. Have patience. Do, repetitively, consistently, diligently, continue doing it passionately. It's simple. There's no recipe. There's no recipe. So yeah, Govind, you can register yourself on Upwork.
That's
I don't
amazing.
know what should we approach. I told you, read what all is available. Start with data entry. I've taken data entry. I have done number of Word to Excel, Excel to Google Drive. While doing so, I gradually said, "Hey, I'm a chartered accountant. I can do your accounting. Can you outsource? Try me. Try my beta project." So understand whatever you get, make the best, and you never know where that client will take you to.
Your honesty is key. Even when you're talking to us, you're so honest, straightforward. That's great. Okay, we have this next question from Yuga, which says, is learning US tax laws a prerequisite, or can one scale the business based on accounting expertise?
No, you okay, Yoga. First, if you will ask me, Kavita, are you an US tax expert? The answer is no. I'm a businessman. So that's what I said. In 2012, what I did is I surrendered my certificate, I detached myself from deliveries, and I became a businessman. I became a leader. I started hiring talent rather than inventing the wheel. I know there are people with this talent, hire them. So, if your question is, I have a separate accounting team, we have a separate US tax team, we have a CPA qualified CPA on board, and yes, it's a prerequisite. You need to learn UA tax laws. I just saw Nanda Kumar is there, he's attending. Just learn from him. He has number of short courses on US tax laws. Learn, and do it. So yeah, the answer is yes. You to prepare the US tax returns, you need to have the knowledge. And it's not the expertise, but even the software knowledge is required.
Software knowledge and US tax expertise knowledge is
No,
needed
you
in
don't need the
CPA.
CPA exams. Mr. Nanda Kumar, I am creating a market for you. Yoga, just contact Nanda Kumar KV and he will give you number of short courses on US taxation and you can get that and you can start. Look, doing CPA. So it's like even a MCOM can do accounting and auditing, and even a CPA, a CA can do accounting and auditing. It is a different, altogether a different role and ball game. What do you want? you want to just understand US taxes, you want to be preparer, then definitely you don't need to do the CP exam. But if you want to sign and you have some game plans for you, then definitely CP exam. And I'm sorry to quote, the CP exam just with the degree, you won't be able to prepare the tax return. There is no articleship over there wherein you will learn the US taxes.
Yes, Yuga, I hope that answers your question. That's a great point. My next point is from Nanda. Okay, that's Nanda. Okay. Okay, so Amar has this question. He said, you are taking local talent from small towns, giving them opportunities. So are you not facing challenges with respect to communication skills? So how do you handle this?
It's look, Amar, I'll tell you one thing. It's a bargain which I'm doing. If I hire a big four, their communication skill is mind blowing. Their attitude is mind blowing, but their retention rates are, the turnover is very, very high. So it's a kind of a, what do you call? There's a word, I am leveraging, I'm trying to pick up the local talent. I know they will stick to us if we train them. If from 10,000 I take them to 1 lakh within say couple of years, they'll stick to us. So we handle their problem. Yes, there are not only communication skills, the attitude, the they are more of an employee shoe most of the time when we want them to be a leader, and leadership comes with the communication skills. So yes, we face a lot of challenge. Now how are we handling this? I use a lot of EQ on this. I connect, I talk to my team. I am a people's person. I go, I take their, I correct their literally the emails, the communication. And yes, the training is going on the whole year, on each aspect. The different training models are there. So yeah, we try to train them, and that is how we are taking care of it. But that's easier for me rather than handling the retention.
That's amazing. So I hope that you got the point over here. So we've got Ravindra who has this question. So Ravindra, I personally apologize for making all of you wait. It was a technical glitch. I know you were waiting. So, ma'am, so will offering only US bookkeeping without tax services still create a market? Ravindra has this question.
Yes, there is a market for bookkeeping. It's a huge market. First, you tell me, whom are you selling? Look, outsourcing, I'll divide into two games. One is the SME sector, that is in B2B, you are working with the entrepreneurs, and one is the CPA firm to whom you are trying to sell the white label projects. Their clients, we want to serve. But the first one is open, and yes, it's a huge market. It's a huge market. I think we have 65% of bookkeeping clients and 35 is the tax client. That answers your question. 70% of my people are bookkeepers and the rest are the tax preparers or whatever, the different skill sets. So I hope, Ravi, I've answered your question.
Okay. Cool. So yes, and that's anyone else. I mean, okay, so I guess it's already 5:36. So yeah, qualification doesn't guarantee anything, and there's an opportunity for all. So I guess anything. So, ma'am, like any point that I've missed that you want to convey, to everyone who's watching it now and who'll watch it later on, and who's really interested in getting into this industry. Many people have asked me questions. I had a form which I sent to people. They said, hey, how long does it take to make 1 million in this venture? Like to make 1 million. So
It took me more than a decade. I don't know about you. It took me, don't look at the numbers. I'm telling you, someone asked me, Kavita, are you a very ambitious person? No, the answer is no. I'm extremely passionate person. If you will see me in the kitchen with the same passion I cook. If I had to come for this interview, I was bang on time, prepared. I asked for my questions. I asked everything. I set my camera and audio system. I told her, please send me the link. I want to see myself. So passion, focus on this thing. if the input is right, you will bound to get the output, you know. Don't run after money. That way you won't be able to chase the number. Grow with your client. That is the one recipe I give. If I always tell my team, look at their profitability. If it's a loss, be ready. He's going to throw you out. You don't add anything. You are an accountant. You know, you're not doing sales for them. So understand where your client is going. You know. So that is what I'll say.
So, Kavita, that's a great answer. But now there's another question by Kavan. Okay, I know it would be on same lines, but let me say it. He says, how do you impress, clients in the US, UK as beginners? As beginners, how do you impress them?
First of all, I told you when we started talking, there is in sales, there are two strategies, pull and push. Okay. So when we started pushing our sales, by then we weren't the beginners. I told you we had number of case studies in hand. Now, number two, why will they choose us over the CPA firms? The answer lies in why outsourcing. It is a major benefit of the cost, you know. When the CPA firm charges and say 700, 800,000 dollars, we do at, you know, one fourth, one fifth of the price. So that is a huge difference. But then you understand, are you able to sell the way the CPA firms are selling? Do you have the similar number of references? Do you have all the certification and required licenses? Do your securities, you have the proper security systems in place? Can you speak in proper English? Do you understand their accent? And look, I want to add here something immediately clicked. Retaining team is something is very important over here, so you need to take care of your people. And though we are in outsourcing industry working for US, I'm very proud to state it here, we do not work at night. 11 p.m. is our last. Morning 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m. we start. So we do not work at night. We never, and there are number of firms from California we refused. I'm sorry, if you're looking for team to work at night, we will not work. So don't try to oversell. Whatever you are, just show them. You are like other people, like other Americans, you are also a professional, qualified. Sell the way they will sell. Don't try. There is nothing called different country. It's after COVID, everything is, you know, has come very simple. When I started that time, the accent was issue. I still remember I used to have that earplug, and my husband used to have one earplug and I earplug, and he used to write down for me, Bob, because I was not able to understand the American accent. But it's not anymore.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay, so Kavan's point was, as a beginner, how does he start? Like, so he's just wants to start this. So as a beginner, I mean, just go to Upwork, right?
And it's not just Upwork. There are a number of sites, I suppose. I don't want to, you know, just
Yeah.
promote Upwork. There are a number of, you know, do your research, find it out, you know, where you can go and how you can do it. There are a number of freelancing sites. There are a number of people on LinkedIn itself who are businessmen. Just find out. Look, number of people, number of posts. Put the contents on the website, on LinkedIn. Read. You will see if he vouched outsourcing. It's the best. You know, sell him your services. Like, hey, I can do this for you. I saw you. You are okay with outsourcing. I am not from the same country, but I can do this for you. Just see that. Understand your client and sell it. That's what I'll say. Just don't understand you and sell it. It's other way around.
Understand the client. Okay, done. So we'll take this last question from Santosh. Okay, so I came across some issues, like people in a different country have trust issues when they go with outsourcing, and it's mandatory to have a person in the United States to run the outsourcing business. So,
I'm sorry, Santosh. I have never come across this kind of a scenario. And again, I'll go back. I started small. I started building small businesses. I have number of entrepreneurs. I'll tell them, can you give, or you know, a feedback to this prospect of mine? And they will happily do it. They'll say, hey, I'm working with Kavita for last 7 years. Do not hesitate, give her the work. I'm working with Nikhil. I'm working with Connect for 10 years. Just give. So first build that. They will not ask then, Do you have anyone in the US? And again, look, the size of the project will matter. If you are looking for a big project, definitely you will have to have someone in the US. So find it out and go slow. That's what I'll say. Slow, steady, consistently build. Don't try to just say how I can make a $1 million. It needs a lot of time.
That's a great reply. Okay. I mean, we'll just take Uday's last question. Okay. He says, I have registered with Upwork and could not pitch any client. Later on, I just left it. Should we keep regularly checking Upwork
Uday,
website?
how long you were on Upwork, and how many proposals did you attend to? I'll tell you my numbers. For 6 months, for 18 hours a day, I sent my bids. And on the seventh month, I closed the first client, which I mentioned, for the UK client for $50. Did you do this?
Wow.
It takes time. It takes time.
So, yes,
I
Uday.
think that's the answer, you need to give your time. Um, it's not that 10 beats or 100 beats and you will get your project. It takes time.
So,
I
yes,
took
again.
I got my first client after doing 6 months of freelancing, just understanding where I'm going wrong and doing. You have someone to ask this question. I didn't have anyone. So I took very long. You shouldn't take that long. But I'm sure, did you spend 6 months of your time on a work?
This is so inspiring. I mean,
Should
I
we
didn't.
be regularly in checking Upwork website? I'm sorry, huh? Uday, we are professional colleagues. So I'll just tell you one thing. 18 hours I was on Freelancer Guru. My desktop had just four things: Freelance, Guru, Gmail, and that time there was Elance as well. All the time, if I was in the kitchen and if there was a ting, I used to come. So if there is a new project, that time I used to get alert. I don't remember because nowadays I don't do it. So all the time at midnight, I used to get up and do. If someone has responded, my response time was 3 minutes. Yeah, Nanda, progress is a process. True.
That's amazing. This is so inspiring even for me. Okay, so patience is the key and never give up. I
And
mean, I
passion,
didn't.
passion, patience and passion. You need to be mad what you want, why it's not happening. When you try to find why, you will change your methodologies, you will change your words, you will. And I have seen number of times people call up and try to sell something which is extremely irrelevant to me. And I feel like asking, why don't you do your homework? I am not a man who will be buying a shaving kit or something. Just find out whom you are calling. What are you selling? What is required over here? Spend some time. And now it's so simple. Everything is on social media. If you want to know more about Kavita, you will go and check my Facebook profile, on my LinkedIn, my Insta. So it's very easy to know someone. How
True.
useful LinkedIn is to get SME clients initially. I I did not use LinkedIn initially. I used after 2016. So I'm sorry, Sohil. I really don't know. But now it's easy for me to connect with people. Rather, we get many, many references through LinkedIn. So people send us the clients, the prospect, they get in touch with us through LinkedIn. So I'm sorry, that time in 2010, I don't think LinkedIn was that active. Am I right? I really don't know. But I've never used LinkedIn till 2016.
Okay. So I guess that answers all, and you've answered everything so honestly. And this is really going to help a lot of people because everyone had only one question: how to get clients, and that was something that was not a
No,
big
but
deal.
I'm surprised. I didn't come across one question which I was expecting. So, why just US? Why not other countries?
Yes.
Don't try to tap all the countries together because each country needs a different kind of a sales method, different kind of a delivery method, different kind of a English language, return language, and the skill sets. So with the same thing, you cannot tap all the markets.
So you are going to focus, even though your team is expanding, you are your practice is expanding. You're going to focus only on US like you did.
Arey yaar, we don't have people. You give me 50 people today, my all US prospects will be closed, you know. So
We have a
if
search team.
something is working, definitely, you know, my team comes up, ma'am, let's tap Australia, UK. But I feel if this is working, we are enjoying, we are growing, let's add new services. And again, we did not add all the services at one go. I told you, you know, the
Yeah.
journey started with bookkeeping, then gradually small payroll. So there are number of things, there are number of certification you require.
Okay, cool. So we've asked you everything, and it's almost 1.5 hours because for 15 minutes we were on another platform doing it, thanks to my new StreamYard Connect. But so, guys who have missed it, I'm going to email every one of you this video. I'm going to sit down personally tonight and send all of you, 350 of you. And really sorry for the lag. And, Kavita, thank you for being so patient for the 15 minutes. No, I mean, that's very kind of you. We were all so excited, and you did not disappoint. It was an amazing
I
conversation. So,
hope, you know,
no,
I could answer most of the questions. I was told by a few of my friends, are you planning to reveal your secrets? I said, what secrets? I don't have any secrets. It's just the passion, and because of my connections. And I'll tell you, the local talent is the best. The small town boys are the best. The girls are the best. When I say boys, definitely it's a gender biased word. So that worked very well, training them, seeing them, you know, those who cannot speak 4 words of English, writing long mails, the kind of a satisfaction you get, it is much more than these dollars. So anyways, that's a different subject, I suppose, but
yeah,
yeah.
yep, absolutely. And I'm sure you'll do like even more bigger and greater. And I'm so excited for you. So, I mean, so we'll wind the session up. I mean, Girish has another question, but do you want to take it up, or it's
Yeah,
already one?
look, I've answered everything.
You answered,
There
yeah.
is no database. I am not exaggerating. We have never done mailing. We have never sent any sales emails. We have never done it. Our maximum sales are through references and through our, you know, the existing client set has grown up, and from one they have become four, and you know, this is how we have grown up. So we have never used any kind of a database. Definitely, you know, whatever, through the LinkedIn or something, you know, similar kind of a platforms. But I'm sorry, Girish, I do not have any kind of a database.
So there is no magic mantra to this.
No,
It's
no, there's no magic method. You
as
need to be passionately work on this.
and as Uday has rightly said, practice means patience and of course passion, as you said. So if you have these two, steady growth, there is great scope. Okay. So yes, Kavita, I mean, thank you. Thank you so much for the time, and thank you everyone for joining in.
Thank you. You have
Thank
a
you.
great day, all of you.
Yes.